I have been an incredibly large Jaxson Dart hater. I did not like him as a prospect for a number of reasons that he has proven me wrong on. I didn't think he was a good decision maker. I didn't think he navigated his reads well, moving from his first to his second read. I didn't think that he was very decisive outside of that initial read in a system that did not ask him to make hard decisions often. But Jaxson Dart, I'm sold. I'm bought in. I've changed my mind. 2 games, 74% completion percentage, 291 yards, 3 total touchdowns. Broke down the film of the first 2 games with the coverage I'm doing now for the Giants for A to Z Sports. And he's doing things that I didn't think were possible for him. He's just
he's using his brain back there?
He's just playing.
Oh.
And I saw the gears turning so much and being late so often when he was at Ole Miss. And that's not happening right now. Here's the one thing I'm going to say, though. There is a particular Giants quarterback that I hated when the Giants drafted him. And then he played well in the regular season for a couple of games. And I was bought back in. And I said, you know what? He proves me wrong. I'm going to here to admit that I'm wrong. And he is going to go on to be the guy for the Giants. And that was Daniel Jones. And I need to be very clear here. And I'm saying this because I'm making a statement, Sean. The second that Daniel Jones started to regress and he got worse and worse and worse, I never forgave him. I was his biggest enemy, as you could tell from the last segment that we did. I am still Daniel Jones's biggest enemy because I changed my opinion on you and you still proved me right. You made me look like an asshole because I decided to admit that I was wrong. So Jaxson, I'm rooting for you. You feel a lot better than Daniel Jones did in those little spurts. You feel very different. But I swear to God, do not go backwards and end up turning out like DJ. I don't think it's going to happen.
Do you think this is a bit hasty for you? 2 preseason games in, and you're making the claim that you're sold on him.
It's almost a little
hasty to have hope for you. Okay,
hasty to have hope. I had to sit through that bullshit with Daniel Jones.
I know.
I'll cling on to anything.
And I'm being kind of hypocritical here because I'm a bucket full of hope after 3 games of Michael Penix Jr. last year. Okay, so I have that. I know what it feels like to finally get that hope back, and you kind of say goodbye to the hollow man for a little bit. This is 2 preseason games, though, Joe.
Shut your mouth.
I just don't know if this is a bit too hasty for Jaxson Dart.
This is the NFL.
I know it's the NFL.
I don't like when people tell me not to be hasty.
This is the big boy league. This is the NFL.
Yeah, I know he hasn't played against starters or with the starting offense or thrown to Malik Neighbors or had Andrew Thomas out there for him. I understand all those things. And it was against the Jets.
And okay, so your hope is effectively that he gets the start over Russell Wilson in week 1 now?
That's been my big push, but I don't think it's going to happen. And here's my big take.
Because I'm just thinking of the next steps here for Joey Hope.
Starting Russell Wilson, if you're Brian Daboll, doesn't get you anywhere because Russell Wilson is not going to carry this offense to a playoff berth. He's just not. There is no world that they get to the playoffs with this difficult schedule. Even if everything goes well and he plays better than everyone expects, they're still an 8-9 team. If you start Dart, you get a built-in excuse that allows for a couple more bumps. You can maybe go 7-10. As long as Dart is in the Offensive Rookie of the Year chase, I think it buys him time. The last part with this, though, I don't think that Jaxson Dart becomes off of this tape. He could always get better, but I don't think he becomes an elite top 5 quarterback. I don't. But if he is like a little bit better than Kirk Cousins, which is kind of how I projected him when he came out. If he's just a little bit better than Kirk,
it's not a bad baseline.
That's great. That's something that I would rather have than suffering through more Daniel Jones.
I think that's fair. If I was the Giants, here's my protocol, and it'd be a lot like how I wanted to approach the Steelers last year when Russell Wilson was there and he was injured and Justin Fields had to start. My plan then was start Justin Fields until he loses, or until he loses 2 games, and then you throw in Russell Wilson. With the Giants, I'd start Russell Wilson until he loses 2 games. Then I'm throwing in Jaxson Dart. And if that's the first 2 games, so be it. I see Jaxson Dart in week 3. And if I'm looking at a 3-2 Giants team and we're about to get into the thick of it, just roll with Dart. Once he loses 2 games, you know Russell's going to lose you another 6 at this point in his career. We're not looking at 2016 Russell Wilson, super good arm, deep pass. You have Collinsworth embarrassingly saying, I don't even know how anybody never voted for him for the MVP. You don't have any of that. That guy's gone. So he loses 2 games. He's going to lose you 6 more. You might as well just nip it in the bud and throw in the young guy and now throw everybody else off because you don't have a bunch of tape on him. There's so much tape on Russell Wilson. He's been figured out by the league, especially this slow, older, deteriorated, older, more broken down version of Russell Wilson.
Deteriorate was a tough one.
You know what? I'm not going to push it again, I don't think. And I could barely say push just now, so I'm going to keep on trying to work this train down the station, if you don't mind. I got the magnifying. God damn it!
All right, you want me to cut in for
you? No. We have now figured out Russell Wilson. Like, there's nothing he's going to do this year that's brand new. No. He doesn't have a trick up his sleeve. He's going to throw for like 200 yards, and it's going to be short passes. He's not going to push the ball down the field. Expect a lot of screens to Malik Neighbors. That's what I'm looking at with Russell Wilson. He loves those quick screens. And then loses 2 games, throw in Dart. And I want to see the young kid in there. I want to see him.
Sooner rather than later is what I want. And the other part with this too, I feel like Dart has shown potential to be, and I had declared this what his ceiling was when he was coming out, was that if he hits a ceiling, he's going to be in that Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr bucket, which Derek Carr at his best.
Better Derek Carr version?
Let's say when Derek Carr was his best and when Kirk Cousins were their best, and Andy Dalton, all 3 of those guys were at their best. They were the median, the middle point of NFL quarterbacks. Any NFL franchise that doesn't have a settled quarterback wants one of those guys. I think that Jaxson Dart capably can become 3 spots ahead of that median point. Like that's where he is. That is what he can get to attainably. He's never going to be really in that like Josh Allen, Mahomes, Jaden Daniels type of a discussion because those guys are freakish athletes. But if you're steady and you have Abdul freaking Carter on the other side, who has been insanely talented already.
His tape from preseason.
Yeah.
I don't care about the block you get put on your ass. Everyone gets put on their ass in the NFL. His burst off the edge. It's freaky, man.
He put Deion Dawkins into a blender.
Yeah. Hard to do that to Deion Dawkins.
We'll see what happens. I'm blindly bought back in.
Yeah,
me and Vito have been just texting back and forth about this.
You see Vito started his picks page this year?
Oh, no.
I gave it a follow. I'll plug it next time if it's top of mind. But excited to see his football picks for the year. I want to see Jaxson Dart go in there and play with a little I don't give a fuck. I want to see him go and be a little nasty, a little attitude in the pocket, big, strong ox, doofus face, doofus hair.
That's all he is.
And you know what? Give it to me. Let me see that guy play in the NFL. Let me see an attitude era New York quarterback again and not a dopey Eli mug every photo.
He's perfect for the New York market now that I've kind of changed my mind on this. Did you see the clips from the video where he shot that long form video with overtime where he was apartment shopping?
I missed that one.
Doofus. They bring him into an apartment building and they're showing him the common area. And he goes, Can I buy this? And they say, what do you mean? You can't buy the common area. He's like, no, I see myself living here. I want the common area. They told him it's $10 million. He doesn't have that money. He doesn't have $10 million.
Is that the dumbest possible thing?
He's looking at an apartment in Hoboken too.
What?
Yeah. Well, because you don't want to live in the city because it would take you forever. Think about that trying to.
I don't want him staying here eating all the pudding. Save some for the rest of us, Jackson.
I don't think that you're competing with Jaxson Dart.
I don't think I am. Trust me.
I don't want to be linking up with Marcus Bowe and see what he's.
Oh, we'd have a good time.
He's dishing.
But Jaxson Dart starts living here in Hoboken. All the women start walking with their legs bow-legged. Not because he was dropping Supreme D, but just because he was just in there eating that thing all night.
Christ.
That's disgusting. I'm sorry,
from Utah, man.
Is he?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No, I had no clue. I didn't know he was from Utah.